Welcome to the Daily HiFi Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am the one and only Techno Dad. We've got Mr. Joe and Tell in the house, and Aaron is going to remote in. No, he's not.
Yeah, he's dancing with the stars right now.
He is a star.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Joe?
How's my video quality? Because I mentioned last time that my Wi-Fi, I had to upgrade my Wi-Fi because I had the old Google Wi-Fi, right? And it was stuck on Wi-Fi 5. And when I tried to get that Zedu and I tried to stream stuff over the network, it just couldn't handle it. Lucy is a good movie to test out because it's like high bit rate. You know, it's like I don't know, it's a 60 gig file or something like that.
Yeah.
I think another good one would probably be what is it? Gemini Man? Isn't that 4K 60?
4K 60, Gemini
HDR.
Man. That's the Will Smith one.
Yeah, 4K 60 and HDR.
Yeah.
So that's probably high bit rate also. So anyway, I upgraded my Wi-Fi. I got, what did I get? I got a bunch of them. I got the Eero, which
you got a bunch of Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I got a bunch of different ones to test. That's what I've been doing the past few days. Got the Eero 6 Plus. Kind of slow, like the app and all that to reboot was slow. I got the what is this? TP-Link XE70s. So they're Wi-Fi 6E, and those are pretty strong, but yeah, like the transfers are way faster. I was able to stream everything over the network, all good. But the problem is, like, I'm using these old Wise cameras that are on 2.4 gigahertz. Like they're stuck on old, 2.4 goes further. So maybe that's why, but it was like the cameras are super slow now. You have Wise cameras, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Is it like instant? Like you can almost see everything in real time?
Yeah. Like I got to turn it on because I haven't done that friendly face feature, but I can. What is somebody's in the office, and I'm like, it's me. Silly camera.
So what Wi-Fi do you have? Do you have a separate like Wi-Fi router that you have to get, or is it just included in that?
No, this is the building Wi-Fi. Actually, what's funny is like we're actually changing our Wi-Fi. So like this weekend, the office won't have Wi-Fi, so I can't do any work here on the weekend. I mean, I can do work, I just can't get on the internet.
Yeah.
Which is lame. But yeah, I can pop in and I can look at myself right now.
So what's so weird though? So all these, they work really well, right? Signal's strong, all that.
See, that's it. See,
if you, yeah, it works well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy because, everything works extremely well except for these Wise cameras are just so choppy and slow on the new network, but it worked well on my old one. Right? And so I ended up getting I got the Nest Wi-Fi Pro.
Oh, you got a Nest, okay.
And just different brand. And for some reason it's fast on those. Like, what the heck is going on?
Does it just work
on those? But that thing doesn't get good reviews. But like the cameras and everything works anyway. That's what I've been up to. Kind of a hassle working with this Wi-Fi stuff. And some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. It's just crazy. If you guys have any comments here, any experts can let me know why that's happening. Right?
Why it's happening?
Yeah, it's a mesh network. So for the TP-Link, I have three story. It's a 3-story place. So, I start off with a 3-pack, and then I had 3 more. I have a 6-pack. But yeah, that didn't really help. I tried different placement. It's more like, it seems like the Wise cameras don't work well with this. It doesn't work with the Eero. My neighbor has Wise cameras, and he has the Orbi, which you liked a lot, right, Chana? Orbi, also choppy on his. But
you tried the Wise camera on the Orbi, and it still is not good.
Well, he has them, so he opened up his app, and it's also choppy, right? But for some reason, when I use the old school Wi-Fi 5 and also the new, what do you call it? The Nest Wi-Fi Pro, it works perfectly. So if anybody can explain why that's happening, I'd love to know. Anyway, what's up to the folks here in the chat?
What up?
Who do I see here? Marv. What's going on, Marv? Tim Perry, of course. Rich. What's up, Rich? Michael Squires.
Oh, C-Big in the house. What up, Chuck?
Big, yeah. Scruff Kingman. Who else? Josh. What's going on? I know it might not be super busy tonight. I bet a lot of folks are going to be watching World Series.
That's one way to get a six-pack.
Yeah. Have you been watching any of the games?
No.
I mean, we are in LA. I mean, you're supposed to tune in a little bit. It's just
I saw Ice Cube performing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, you know, I know some people might think like, oh, look at him. He all of a sudden he's wearing his LA hat. I always wear a LA hat, right?
What do they call it? A fair weather fan.
Weather fan. No. Look, I have before, dude, I don't pay attention to baseball at all. Like I wear this because I'm in LA, you know? It's not for like, oh yeah, because I like baseball. I'm not into baseball. But yeah. I got a couple.
I actually needed to go to downtown last night. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I was all worried trying to get there at like 6-7 p.m. I'm like, oh crap, is there a Dodger game on? And I'm like, oh wait, no, it's not a home game.
Oh yeah, so I was stuck there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, anything. I think I gotta text my brother. I think I need to go down there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. I went to a bar on Saturday. But there was a game on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, Friday. I'm with Chana. I saw Ice Cube. Yeah, there you go, C-Big. Yeah. Friday, I went to a bar here over by the office, and everybody's watching the game. And then, it was dragging on. My brother hit me up, so I went over to his spot. And then we went bar hopping from over there, and then ended up at a Korean barbecue spot. Really, really tasty food. Yeah, and because it was I forget it's Halloween. I forget, I'm not a huge Halloween person, so
you went trick or treating with us last time.
Yeah. I'm what is that? I don't even.
And then that person, remember they're giving out little.
The shots, the little the things you get at the
little drinks.
Yeah, the mini bottles, the little mini bottles that you would get at a hotel or something.
That was pretty cool though, because they were like, hey, trick or treat, here's for the kids and here's for the adults.
Here's for the adults. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I remember that was actually it's now been officially a year since I've been back in LA.
Nice.
October 23rd was the what do you call it, anniversary of me being back in LA. So a lot has changed in a whole year. Holy shit. It's pretty amazing.
Hopefully mostly for the better.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's not a long time, actually. 1 year is not a long time.
No, I know ton has changed. But you know what? I did pick this up the other day. This is as far as my Halloween goes. This is
I can't see. What is that?
It's a watch with a sugar skull on it. It's a Dia de los Muertos little watch. That's it. I used to go to the Halloween raves as myself. and just walk around and everybody's wearing all this crazy stuff. I'm like, that's not for me. Yeah. That's not me. Somebody from my office here, she went, her boyfriend, I guess, wanted to go as Tom and Jerry. And I'm like, okay, who was the cat? She's like, he was. I'm like, so you were the mouse? You're tall as shit. And he's shorter. I'm like, what? That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Halloween's not my favorite. I know some people get into it. It's just not they don't even have school's not even off on Halloween.
No, but we are running a promotion on the Spatial toolkit Use the code BOO. I got you. BOO15, BOO15, and get 15% off. Spatial audio calibration toolkit, the world's first and still most comprehensive Dolby Atmos calibration disc. Yeah, there you go. But
yeah, plug that. Hey, you know what I like is you've been making a few videos mentioning the toolkit, and I mean that's all good from a business standpoint, right? But really, what I like, don't get me wrong, right? Making money and doing good business is always a good thing, right? But you're not even in the Discord most of the time. Do you see some of the comments of people like using it and getting really good results?
Sometimes now and again, when somebody tags me, there's just, I mean, you know, in summer. So I made like 3 videos in the last week. I'm actually working on number 4 right now. And in summer when I had this because this busy DJ schedule, I'm gone 3 days out of the week. So that cuts the whole time I have to like do shit in half, essentially, right? So I'm only gonna pick up like one out of town per month so that I can stay. If it's an in-town one, that's easy. That's one day and it's done, right? It's not like a whole weekend. Cause like I was here on the weekend. Everybody's like partying and shit. I was here on the weekend. And I just banged out a bunch of videos. I was like, oh shit, that's right. I forgot how easy this was. So and I'm working on the newest video now, which is adding these front wides. Yeah, and I've done it, Joe. I've done it.
You've done it.
I've done it. I'm not gatekeeping anymore where these front wides are supposed to go. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, this actually makes sense. It's not supposed to be in the middle of the front right, and the right surround is the one I'm looking at.
Yeah,
like this actually makes sense where it is.
And so, spoiler, do you hear any difference? Or you haven't?
I haven't plugged them in yet.
Oh well,
I had to, dude. I am exact with these measurements, and then I got to put the cinder blocks underneath it.
Yeah.
And then I have to redo the wiring on the Acurus because right now I have the front 3 bridged. So I got to rewire the Acurus and then rerun Dirac and all that. Oh, yeah. So that's the next video. It should be out on Thursday at the rate I'm going. Oh, my buddy let me borrow his action cam, the DJI one.
Yeah.
And you know what's good about? I might have to get one, dude, because I've been using not this camera. This is the fancy one. I've been using these Pocket 3s, and if you shoot in D-Log on both, it's all the same. The color is the same.
Yeah.
So I can get some different angles.
Watch it. Watch out. Watch out. Yeah. By the way, for the folks in the chat, if you have any questions, specific questions, because I don't have a plan. I don't have a whole list of things that we're going to talk about. We probably should, but that would make us professional, and we are not. We're just here to do our thing and hang out with you guys and answer some questions, things like that.
Yep.
And so it just keeps us on schedule just to pop in here every week.
I mean, I could talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff. I did get a new processor in.
Yeah, what'd you get?
A fancy one.
Oh,
fancy one. Where's Mr. Don? Where's Don? Where's Horizon Home Theater Don?
Does it rhyme with Ming North?
Yes. When you said rhyme with, I'm like, what is it? It can't be anything real.
Yeah. So that sounds like it'll be fun.
Michael Squires, no, not the JBL synthesis or the tone. You know what I need to do? I need to go on to LinkedIn and put the other video up where the thumbnail is like 32 in, 16 out. A being 16 channel processors. And I just tag every company that has one. Be like, who wants to be included? I've got 3 already.
Man, that's a lot of work, I'll just say right now, to compare processors, right? Because of course you have to level match them, right? Paul's making me laugh here. Yeah, so you have to level match. You probably have to do a comparison with and without room correction.
Yep.
Right? To see, here's my guess, right? I'm allowed to have a hypothesis, right? Sometimes you have a guess. I think what you'll find is when processing is off on all of them, they're going to sound the same. Kind of expect that, right?
Like well, also, on,
they should sound about the same.
What did you say about being in here? There's a big difference when all the speakers are equidistant.
Yeah.
So like, this is it'll totally sound the same. If it sounds the same in here without room correction.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it real. The way that your stuff is set up right now, right? It needs bass management just because you're using some small height speakers, right?
Sure.
But because they're equidistant, you have some speakers with pretty good frequency response. If you just plug those in, no room correction right now, and just play something, it sounds pretty good already, right? Like you could enjoy the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Of course, the level matching is going to be way off because there are different sensitivities, things like that.
Right.
So it's not going to be as cohesive, but tonally, you're going to be like, it's cool. If you played like the Leaf demo or something like that, it'd be like, oh, that sounds cool. Of course, when you get it dialed in, then it locks everything in. You know what I mean? But that's what we mean, like placement, right? Getting the right speakers, getting decent speakers. You have room treatment. Like those are the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Now, when you layer on,
you didn't hear it. You didn't hear it without the room treatment. Man.
Oh, I could hear it when you're talking, bro. When you were talking, it sounded, and when you do the clap test, I'm like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's near field. Somebody said, Scruff Kingman says it's near field, which is true. So, but when you apply DSP, you do the level matching, delays, small amount of delay that you need to do, the fixes to the frequency response, it levels it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the surround left and surround right. Those things are the hottest things because they're here. Hold on, for my ear. Let's see. Get over there, silly laser. 4.47 inches or feet.
That's close.
Yeah, 4.3 on that side.
I don't know. I'm responding to Jamaica Social says, hey guys, got an email from Onkyo to say Dirac bass control is now available for Onkyo RZ50, but would it even help without independent subwoofer out? And that's a good question because bass control is about what I thought it was about was that it can use the independent subwoofer outs, usually, you'd have to have something with multiple outputs, and then it changes the delay for each sub. It changes the frequency response, and in addition, probably the phase response of each one so that you have a good summed response at every seat. But if you only have one sub out, how does that even work? I don't know the answer to that. My guess, so this is just a guess, my guess is that Dirac Live bass control also has to do with Dirac taking over the crossover points. So with normal Dirac and with Odyssey, for example, it does the correction, but then the AVR itself handles the crossovers. You set it afterwards, 80, 60, 120, whatever. You set it all on the AVR afterwards. With Dirac Live bass control, Dirac takes control of all the crossover points. So it either locks out it probably locks you out of that setting later on. I'm not sure exactly. It might work different on different receivers. But maybe that's what you're getting with Dirac Live bass control with a single sub out. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. Michael Squire says it does lock you out. Okay.
Yeah, didn't you say that too? Dirac locks you out of certain things like crossover points and stuff like that once it's done.
It depends on the AVR. It's so weird. Like the implementation is different. So on the NAD T778 right here, once I run Dirac, I can't even change the levels of each speaker.
Oh,
it's all locked out, right? But then if I talk to somebody with audio, you can on other ones, yeah.
But what you can do, right? Is you can do a custom target curve.
Yes, you can do a custom target curve.
Which is like, what?
What do you mean? You trying to hook me up with a plug or what?
that was a fucking easy layup, bro.
Well, if anybody here doesn't already know about Magic Beans, first of all, welcome to Daily HiFi. Because if you've tuned in a couple times, you'll know that I created Magic Beans. Chana and I created Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit. And so we plug those things because why not? Sponsored by our apps, our app and our disc. Better than being sponsored by somebody else, right? At least you know that we're biased. But yeah, our stuff works, Our stuff works. What else? What were we talking about right now? I forgot.
I'll see your watch a little bit better.
Oh, you want to go ahead. Solo it. Interesting watch.
My face. I can't look at where it's at. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun and cheap. I had a
Here's a quick plug, another part of that plug. See, I screenshot some of the stuff that's on our Discord because our Discord is private, so sometimes people don't get to see this stuff, which is good and bad. Good because I get to chat with these guys and talk. The problem is that it's not like a forum where everybody can see the comments. So.
Right.
But I get comments like this and it makes me very happy, So he did a calibration on Onkyo with his crappy room EQ. And then he bypassed EQ.
That Acu EQ or whatever?
I guess. So this guy, he does calibrations for people and he uses Magic Beans. And he said the person was blown away. So
nice.
Yeah, all good things. All good things. What else here? Got any questions? Any other questions? Oh, making money. You hear that?
Boom. There it is.
Adds base management, which should help anyway. Oh, Big John. Hey, somebody commented on one of our videos that like, oh, we're not serious enough when we're talking about the bass traps. Like, oh, you guys are make a joke of stuff. And I said, don't mistake. I told my response, right, publicly was, don't mistake us having fun for like making fun. You know what I mean? Like it's a fun hobby, but I'm not making fun of somebody using bass traps. There's nothing. It's not. First of all, it's not that funny.
Is that on the Daily HiFi one?
Yeah, somebody's like, "Oh, that you guys make a joke out of everything." I said, "I don't know what you want me to do."
I'm not sure about revisiting because you didn't really. Is this generally curious? Is this one?
No, there's somebody who said, I don't know. Anyway, that we make a joke out of everything, and I think we just try to have fun because we are talking about audio. We're talking about a hobby. But it is serious. It is serious in the fact that I would prefer that somebody didn't spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on something that won't improve their sound, right? So I'm serious about that. I'm serious that I want people to have a great listening experience. So anyway, I ended up telling that guy, like, there's 3 of us on here. Who was it? Like, was it Chana? Was he the one making fun? Like, he's like, oh, Joe was he's pretty serious. I'm like, okay.
Oh, see, I was doing some silly shit on the videos. Oh, maybe that's why.
All right. What were you doing?
I was just texting with somebody, or somebody was texting me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Anyway,
it's called having a personality. Derek Joshua with the I can't drop this mic. With the mic drop. There it was.
Yeah, there you go. You need some baby oil.
Some baby oil.
No, it's all out of stock.
It's all out of stock. It's at somebody's house.
Starts with
the light and fun. The series
and an 80. Oh, the serious guys turn. Okay, yeah. I think it should be light, but at the same time, I think if you know what you're talking about and you have experience, you don't have to be so uptight and serious about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know, then you know. You don't have to act like I don't have to prove like, hey, I actually know about this stuff. Just know about it.
Be serious. I gotta be serious.
SQ Car Audio, how's it going? You have a great question here I would like to answer. He says, where is it? He says, have you done full Fosse V3 mono evaluations yet? You know what? Truthfully, I had one that just stopped working. I don't know why, but I did get those AC Infinity fans to cool it off, and that works. It cooled it off. I mean, they run way cooler to the point where I feel comfortable with how hot they don't get. Right. So in the previous video, we talked about that, and Tim made a clip about AC Infinity, and people were like, "You're just talking about AC Infinity now? It's as if you found out the Earth was round."
Oh, that's what that comment was about. Oh my gosh.
Here's the thing: don't mistake me reading the comments and having responses like, "Oh, he takes everything too serious." Think about it like this: first of all, I'm taking the time to read the comments. Right? I could just ignore them. Right? But I take the time to read them. Sometimes I respond. But I told the guy, don't pretend like you made up fans, bro. Don't pretend like you invented fans. Like computers had fans too. Fans have been a thing for a long time. Just because the AC Infinity is like the one that they use for AVRs. He made it seem like that's such old news that you're talking about AC Infinity fans. Yeah, it is. But it's the first time I've tried it. I've known about them for a long time, but it's the first time I tried it. And for somebody who's new to this, maybe they haven't heard about it. So I'm repeating it for them, not for you. You know what I'm saying? If you've already heard about them, then I'm sorry to bore you with talk about fans. But
I mean, I've heard about it, but I've never had to use one. So
you never had to see? That's what I'm saying. And when I finally used it for a different use case, which is for these V3 monos, small amplifiers, not for the typical use case, I was like, that might be good. I could recommend these if you were to use a fan with them. But I found something else. That I think you guys would be interested in. It is okay, so these V3 monos, they have an auto switching thing, right? Where they kind of come out of standby when they sense a signal. But they still take up power when they're kind of like standby. Like they'll still get warm on its own. I think the one that died when it wasn't even playing anything. It was just like sitting on its own. Right? So I found, tell me if you've heard of this. So they don't have 12-volt triggers, right? Typically for power amplifiers, you want a 12-volt trigger. So when you turn on your AVR or processor, it turns on your amp.
Yeah.
Right? Well, this doesn't have that. They're like little Class D amps. But what I found was, have you heard of this? There's a power strip that you can get that's cheap, right? I bought one that was $10 and I bought another one that's $30. The one that's 30 is nice, a little nicer, you know what I mean? But the one for $10 would work too. And basically, it senses the input from a certain device, right? Let's say the AVR, right? Whenever you turn it on, it pulls more power, right?
Okay.
And you can set it. You can set the level where it turns on, and when it turns on, right, then it turns on the rest of the things. So the other things are completely unplugged until the AVR comes on. So it kind of acts like a 12-volt trigger, and for $10. That could be very useful just because there's always a power draw, right?
Right.
Quiescent.
Quiescent.
Yeah, the idle power, right? Idle wattage. That's somebody who taught me that recently, so I'm saying it for him. He knows. So a lot of this stuff takes energy even when it's off. You notice that?
Sure. I mean,
but does it need to be on? Like, does it need to be on at all?
No.
Like, if your AVR was just like completely unplugged, would that be so bad? Maybe if you want updates, I guess.
Convenience.
But it doesn't take longer when it's unplugged to turn on. Those the Denon and Marantz doesn't, but the HTP one, it takes a long time.
A while.
Yeah, it takes a while to boot unless you have it in like the standby mode. So my point being, for like $10, these power strips are pretty cool. I'm gonna try to find it here. I was very happy that it worked exactly as intended. You turned on the AVR and then all the stuff turned on. Boom, you're set. One second here. Let me find them on Amazon. Order. Where is it? What other questions? We have any questions? Start questions?
I actually have a question for you guys because I already know the answer to for me. What movies are you guys excited to see that are coming out in the next couple months? Ooh. Anybody? Anybody? Everybody? I know what I want to see. There's one movie I want to see.
What is that?
I don't know if it's going to deliver.
Well,
there's a movie right now that I want to see called Conclave, right? But I want to see Gladiator 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. November something or other. Let's see, where is it? November. Gladiator 2. When does it come out? Opening November 22nd. So one more month for that guy. Do you think it's gonna? What do you think? Do you think it's gonna live up to the hype of or the first one?
Oh man! Oh, let's get this off the screen. Well, that's pretty rough, man. Who's the actor gonna be?
Oh, there's I don't know the main guy, but like Denzel Washington's in it. What's his name? Did a Ridley Scott directing.
Original guy is can't think of his name right now.
Paul Mescal. Oh, you mean what's his name? God damn it.
The guy who got really fat.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Awesome. Yeah. He killed it in that movie, right?
Yeah. So Pedro Pascal is going to be a general.
Okay.
Emperor.
All right.
And then Denzel Washington is in there. But I think the Lucius is the kid. It's a story about him, I think.
Okay. I think the acting in the first one kind of made it, right? He was very convincing as, was it Maximus?
Yes.
Was that his name?
Maximus, yeah.
Who was something Aurelius? Was that?
That's Marcus Aurelius. He was the emperor of the time.
Marcus Aurelius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, so I looking at all the other like upcoming movies. Do you know Liam Neeson's in a movie that's out right now? I think opening Friday, Absolution.
Oh, really?
Liam Neeson. Synopsis is: an aging gangster attempts to reconnect with his children and rectify the mistakes of the past, but the criminal underworld won't loosen their grip willingly. Sounds like a Liam Neeson movie. I have a set of skills.
I have. Okay, 1 second.
Spaniard, are you not entertained?
Oh yeah, you used to say that. What happened to that? Are you not entertained? Why do you sound like Arnold?
Arnold? You sounded like Arnold. I didn't sound like Arnold. You sounded like Arnold.
I sounded like Arnold. Hold on, I'm getting these links here.
Doing all this speaker moving around and filming it's a pain in the ass, man.
All right. So here are those window. Here are those little plugs. So this is it's $28, right? So whatever gets plugged into like this one is what makes the rest of them turn on. And then you have two of them here that are always on. So there's the $28 one, and I just tried this one. It's a $9.76, and it also works. So there you go. Would you find that useful in any way?
Me?
Where everything is unplugged until one thing turns on? No?
I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. I don't pay for the power here, so if I accidentally leave something on, not a big deal. At home,
put a hot tub in there then. I'm just saying, you want to draw power, what else can you put? Hot tub, what takes a lot of power?
Microwave.
A
heater.
Yeah, heater
takes up a ton.
Yeah. Let's see here. Any other questions we got? Let's see. How about this one? Big John says, "What up, fellas? Could you guys explain the pros and cons of Purify, Hypex, and Ice Power Class D power amps? Would you recommend amps brands like VTV, Buckeye, or factory-built amps? For example, NAD or Legacy Audio." What I would say, Big John, is that I am not an expert when it comes to amplifier topology and stuff that is like electronics related. So I cannot tell you. I can refer to somebody who is an expert in that. And so I ask him and he tells me all kinds of like, all this new chip does this and that. And it's amazing. And the quiescent this and that. And like, he tells me all about like how much draw each thing has, the signal to noise ratio of all of them. It's a lot, right? But from what I hear, okay, another thing I should say is the less expensive Class D stuff is like the Texas Instruments stuff, right? The stuff that you find like the WIM amp and like, the less expensive Class D stuff, which is really cheap. And the new thing, if you notice, like they have one that's called PFFB, the post filter feedback something, right? Basically, so depending on what speaker you normally plug in to those old, less expensive ones, it could change the frequency response a little bit, right? It's load dependent, so it changes depending on the speaker and the load, right? So it could change the sound. The new ones, they have a feedback loop so that it basically you don't get that effect. Regardless of what speaker you plug in, it's going to give you a flat response, right? I'm talking about the new Texas Instrument stuff. And that's what the difference is between the WIM amp and the WIM amp Pro is it has that technology. Now, what the guy told me was the Purifier and Hypex, they've had that for a long time. Like that's how it's been with their stuff for a long time. All right. So you could have bought one from years ago and it still does that thing that this thing is just starting to do now. Right. So I guess they're better. I hear a lot of good things about Buckeye. My NAD, I believe this one here, I think it uses Hypex chips, but bottom line is I don't know enough to speak on that, right? I think you kind of just have to ask around to people who are a little more experienced with it. Sorry.
The Acurus uses Class D amplifiers.
Which ones? Do you know which? Is it Purify? Okay.
See application extras. No.
So I apologize, Big John. I wish I had more information, but what I don't want to do is pretend like I know when I really don't.
Right.
Yeah, that's not good. Let's see here. Stefan says, thanks to Chana, ordered the Onkyo TXR N7 7100 today for the secondary.
Oh, damn.
Going 5.1.4 in the Lady Cave.
A Lady Cave. What is that? I like the sound of that. The Lady Cave? I don't know if can we say that on the show? What are we talking about here? The Lady Cave?
Hey, I'll take it. That sounds awesome. Lady Cave. That's great.
Let's go.
So I guess we'll wait till you have it all set up and give us an update.
Yeah.
Let us know how it all sounds.
Dude, it was pretty cheap, man. So the video is about, $1,500 for a 5.1.4. Well, it's a 5.2.4. You get two of those Klipsch theater packs. Those are still $400. And then the AVR, that Onkyo 9-channel is $630. It's like, that's pretty. This one guy was like, no matter how you slice it, dude, you must be totally delusional. Like $1,500 is a lot of money.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Yeah, it is. You get 10 speakers. So that means you pay $150 per speaker. You get 2 subwoofers for free and an AVR for free. So I'm like, you know, you want to get a $300 sound. Like at the end, did you see the beginning of the video? If you're tired of your TV sound or your sound bar and you want to go to a home theater, this is what dude, that's the cheapest 514 setup around.
You know, I haven't heard a soundbar that I was impressed with. I know you've heard the Dragon, which reminds me, somebody has measurements of the Dragon. You know, because with Magic Beans, right? We can export something that looks like kind of like Spinorama style, right? Where it has a near field measurement, it has one in room, and it shows directivity and stuff like that. And this guy, I guess, took some of the Dragon, some measurements of it, and he sent them to me. So I still haven't gotten a chance to look at it, but
you haven't looked at it.
I'm very curious to see how that comes out. That should be interesting.
Look, Paul's over here promoting for us. Thanks, Paul.
Yes. Let's see here. What else? What other questions we got?
Use a 12 centimeter computer fans on 7 volts. I run 10 Fosse V3 monos. Wow, 10.
Yeah.
Would you use a Fosse Audio V3 amps for your front stage? Say buying 3 of them.
So I have 6 of them right now. So the idea was, could you possibly use a bunch of those for your home theater? So of course, at a certain point, it starts getting kind of like just buy a power amp. Because if you imagine you have a bunch of these, you know, they're like this big, and then how many are you gonna have? 11 of them? Now the cost starts to be like, does that even make sense? You know,
don't you have to like now plug each of them in? Doesn't each of them have like cabling, power cable,
you know, bricks? Like it's at a certain point, it's like it kind of makes sense to just get a power amp. But I wanted to try it, so I have 6 of them, and it does work. But you know, the things that I was talking about, like heat dissipation, you got to make sure to take care of that. Yeah,
you got it, Big John. No problem, man. You know, that's what somebody told me yesterday, actually. Well, actually, 2 people. Oh, some exciting news. Really quickly. What were you talking about? I forget. Anyway,
I don't know.
Yours truly is going to be a judge at a shootout again. So, what is it? In like 2 weeks, I'm going to the ultra short throw projector shootout.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got a call from our buddy Phil. Let me get this microphone down here. I got a call from our buddy, Mr. Phil Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what he said? He said, well, I don't want to get everyone that's a total nit nerd. And I guess they're doing something where they're not going to like fully calibrate. They're just going to give somebody from the manufacturer like an hour or something to do the settings. And then
why wouldn't they all? I think it kind of makes sense. Like if they're all default, like depending on the price, right? Because if you have a certain projector that's like under $3,000, how many people are really going to get that calibrated?
That's exactly what they're saying. So they have 8 projectors. I don't know what price points they're at, but that's what he's saying. People that spend $3,000 on a UST aren't going to spend $600 to have somebody come and calibrate it. So an agent from the manufacturer will have time to adjust the settings, but it won't be like a full calibration because majority of people don't do that. And then they wanted somebody that was going to give them an honest opinion. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Easy. So that's exciting. So that's going to happen in like 2 weeks ish, the 16th of November, out in New York. So, yeah.
Who's throwing it?
It's with Projector Reviews and ProjectorScreens.com.
Okay.
It's not Roberts. Roberts is usually in like July or whatever.
Okay.
So so yeah.
Yeah.
That was, Big John, man. It's all about honesty and transparency. I'm totally with that. Also, you can't, like somebody said in one of the comments on one of my recent videos, I guess in the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's like, I already knew the answer by the look on Chana's face. So like I can't hide it. I feel like this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like
hey, speaking of projectors, I finally got a working Valerian Pro 2 because I have, it's like engineering samples and stuff that they're sending out, and they wanted to do a firmware update and it kind of bricked one of them. So they sent me another one. I like that thing. I like it. I have to like do my full evaluation, and it really is going to depend on what the price is, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So far, I'm enjoying it. One of the things is just it's fast. Like going through menus, turning it on and off is like almost instant.
Yo, that's cool.
The thing with a projector that's annoying sometimes, like you wait for it to turn on, and then you wait for it to shut down. It's almost like it might be faster than my TV to turn on. I don't know. Does your TV turn on like instantly, or does it take like a couple seconds?
Why would it not?
I mean, like instant.
Here, you want me to try it? All right, I'm gonna turn. Okay.
Still got to do the HDMI thing, right?
Yeah. Okay. And it's going the laptop. I know you're over here, but the laptop's over there. It's going into a dock, and then from the dock, it's going into the AVR, and then from the AVR, it's going to the TV. So here we go. And I'm gonna press power in 3, 2, 1. It's on.
Yeah,
it's on. That's it.
Okay.
It's like
the other one it's pretty much like that. And when you turn it off, because here's the thing: normally with a normal projector with a bulb, when you turn it on or you turn it off, it has to cool off that fan. Like you don't want it to just shut off and then, all right, bulb, see what happens with you. Whatever happens, right? So usually it takes like 30 seconds to cool off the bulb, turns off the light, then cools off the bulb, and then it turns off. Right? But because these are laser, I guess they don't have to do that. Just like turns off. Anyway, black level. I'm sure a lot of people want to know about that.
Yeah, black levels.
It's gonna be like this, Marv. I want to give it a fair assessment with regard to like how does it compare to my BenQ HT4550i that's around the same ish price range, right? Because I can tell you it's not perfect. Like if you're expecting JVC or OLED levels, and I wish it's not that level, but it's also to the point where I'm also impressed. What's that?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a huge projector guy,
I know. I feel like you hate projectors.
I do.
You hate them?
That shit. I hate it. Hate.
Just because you got that Polaroid one that one time?
Oh man, it wasn't Polaroid. Was it Polaroid?
Yeah, you got a Polaroid projector.
That was the most annoying thing ever. Holy crap. I don't have any space. Even here, it would be tough to do.
It's a scope screen. My garage though, right? Like when you come over, like there's just got theater seats, big old screen, and kind of just works.
No, it works. It works in your space. My space, not so much. I would think like there's a couple of big blank walls in the office here. I could just project onto there and for like USTs and be like, yeah, it's cool.
You're a TV lover.
I love TVs.
You love screen, like a screen.
Yeah, that's why I want to check out that Jupiter screen. That thing's dope.
I get it. I get the benefits of it. I get it. But I think if you had a dedicated space and you could put up like a 150-inch screen, you'd be about it.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
If you definitely could not go with a TV type thing, you'd get a nice projector and you'd love it.
Yeah, and then I could have an AT screen or whatever, and have everything like hidden.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Polaroid. Yeah, he did. It was a Polaroid projector. Piece of garbage, no?
Garbage.
And then the next,
I made a video about it.
Hold on, you reviewed the Vava, which I also reviewed, and I was like, it's pretty rough. It was the first UST that we saw, though, right?
Yeah.
Back then, there was like no such thing as USTs until this Vava came out, and I still have it. I still have that Vava. It's not the best. Let's just say that. It's pretty soft. The image is soft. Hi Finest, thank you for the super chat. Woo! He said the $4.99 super chat, and he says, "Ahoy! What is the biggest bass boost you've ever seen in a house curve that sounded good to your ears, not bloated or slow? Probably the one in Chana's room. Had a big bass boost because why?
The rel?
No. Well, not. I'm talking about like a house curve, a target curve. So your room had a pretty huge rise, and people were like, oh my god, why would you tune it like that? And it still sounded correct though, because you sat next to your wall.
Oh, you're talking about up in Mammoth. Yeah.
No, in your bedroom.
Oh.
You sit next to the wall, right? Next to the rear wall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It needs to have that type of bass. If you try to lower it down, your brain knows that you're near a wall. So if you try to lower it down and be like, not enough bass, right? So it sounds good, it sounds appropriate because your brain knows that it's supposed to have a lot of bass when you're near a wall. But if you move forward a little bit and you sit kind of more central, then it still sounds correct in both cases, right? If you sat that same exact tuning, if you measured it, a few feet forward, would have a lot less bass. So that's the thing to keep in mind. Having the target curve set a certain way is for a specific location, right?
Yeah.
So what were you gonna
say? Just a side note, since I brought all my speaker on a sticks here, I haven't been able to like do anything at the house. So I bought some more like months ago. And I haven't done anything with it because I still have this Sony AVR that I've barely just opened. So I'm gonna get that 514 run up and running over there again. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
I have the Yamaha in there now, but it's like just running 5.1.
Yeah, so hopefully hopefully that answers your question. But just to give you a real world example, if I were to listen to speakers near field, say at your desk, right? If I measure at the desk, most likely there's going to be only a slight bass rise because you're close to them. You're not near a back wall. You're probably like in the center of the room, right? So you won't see a big bass rise. So that is the correct tuning at that listening position for those speakers, right? Now, if you were to just back up and go near the back wall, all of a sudden that same tuning has a huge bass rise.
Huge.
But it doesn't mean that you want to correct it. Like that's the correct tuning. It is the correct tuning.
What was how many dB we talking? I think it was like at least like 8 to 10.
No, it was like 15 or 20 or something. What? Something pretty high. Yeah. So anyway, let's see here. There's another question. There's a few Magic Beans questions. Let me try to answer them at once. So, Hi Finest, any Magic Beans updates? Yeah, we do have some updates coming out. One is for a new way of calibrating Dirac. That's a 2-pass method that tries to undo their correction to flat. So that's one thing. You get that out of there. And this question here from SQ Car Audio: can you speak about Magic Beans unified bass and how you came up with the transition frequency, trial and error? So for those who don't know, we have different export methods. One is called unified EQ, and basically it makes the bass the same for all the speakers, but it corrects the frequencies above the transition region based on each speaker itself. So they are not unified above the transition region. It's a combination of normally when you do a calibration on your AVR, it's a global target, meaning every speaker gets the same exact target curve. Kind of makes sense, except it doesn't work as well. And then there's another method where you can optimize for each individual speaker. So that speaker, the left speaker, has its own target curve that's specific, and then the center and the right. Problem is, each speaker sounds good, but you still want cohesiveness, right? Where you want the most cohesiveness, though, is mostly in the bass. You want a similar bass response. So we do have that option. So we have individual EQ option, we have global target, and we have unified. So we have 3. So for anybody, I saw somebody, another reviewer out there kind of like saying, oh yeah, somebody had to fix it because they all have different target curves for each speaker. Yeah, that's just one of the options. There's a global one if you want to do it like everybody else does. That's another option. And there's the unified method, which I recommend for most people. And so the question about how we came up with a transition frequency, it's not a set frequency. It's not, okay, we decided on 500 hertz. We decided on 200. We decided on 1,000. No, it's based on the measurements themselves. So we actually take a look at all the measurements and we start to figure out where the transition region is for those speakers and your room. And that's something that I don't think anybody else is doing that I've seen. But yeah, that's how we figure out what the splice point is, where it transitions from individual EQ to a global EQ, right? So it's based on the measurements. Hopefully that answers it, but I'm not trying to be secretive. It's just we look at the measurements.
It's based on the measurements.
I can't say how we do everything, but it is based on the measurements that we take. No guessing. Okay. What else? Anything else? What else? Start comments. There, let's go. Let's just knock some out. Greg McCracken. Get it cracked.
Do you have a brother named Philip?
Do you have any advice for adding surrounds to a small room with a couch that's against the wall? Surrounds a small room with a couch against the wall. Tried surround bookshelves, but they were uneven if you didn't sit in the exact center of the couch. Yep.
So, okay, so I have this problem in both places. In Mammoth, that house was there. So you know what I did? I always sat on the left side of the couch. Shocker. Secret. Exposed. That was my main listening position. Not the middle of the couch where I sat in the couch. So obviously the left surround would be quieter than the right surround.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. If you're sitting on the left or if you're sitting on the right, then tune it for that. That's it. That's what I would do. And I had the side surround. They're like flanking, so they're like right, but like one like this and one like this. So just have to figure it out. That's what I would do. What would you do?
Here's the thing: is I'll tell you. I used to live in an apartment where I could only do a 5 ear level system. When I moved here and I was able to put rear surrounds, I could tell like that's a nice change to hear something that's coming from behind you that's far noticeable, right?
Big time.
It's very noticeable, and I like the effect, right? Now you can't do that if your couch is against the wall, and I wouldn't even try. Like, don't try to like force speakers back there, because the problem is, even if you could put some right against the wall, it's not far enough. Ideally, you'd want Chana set up where everything's equidistant, like you're in the center of all of them, would give you the best effect. So you wouldn't want your front speakers to be far and then your rear speakers to be real close. Even if you could, it'd just be like more distraction than anything, I bet. Right? So what you can do, though, is make sure that the surrounds that you're using, so the surrounds are going to take over they're going to kind of take the spot of the rear surrounds, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be mixed. It's going to be rear surround and side surround stuff that's happening.
And then if you have 0.2 high channels and something's flying overhead and they don't put it 100% in the height plane, you're getting sound from that should be in the rear height is going to be in your side surround or whatever surround you have. Because it just kind of gets folded in, which is another fun little quirk.
One trick that you may want to try is, they recommend pointing the speakers directly at you. I would say maybe trying to point them like away so you're not getting so much direct sound. Like you're getting a little bit more of a diffuse.
You're like 30% away or something? Like just
I know that Atmos doesn't recommend using anything that's like a
bipole, dipole.
No, they don't recommend that.
Sorry, Marv. Yep.
They want it to be a very direct sound, right?
I used bipoles. They were great.
The truth is, like, sometimes it's too distracting, right? When you're getting direct sounds from something, it's just too distracting. Like it's more like you want just an ambient sound effect.
You want it to be diffused. You want it demure.
Yeah, demure. You want a demure sound, right? And you can't do that if you're right next to it. Like there's no diffusion happening. You're just hearing the direct sound from the speaker, right? And typically with distance, you get a little diffusion, right? You're getting a little bit of reflections off the sidewalls and things like that. But even if they don't recommend it, I say, you may want to try it. One thing you can do is just point the speakers backwards a little bit, like be off axis to them, right? So that you're not getting the direct sound, immediate sound. I am using these Arendal tripole surround. Tripole, meaning there's one that's facing directly at you, right? There's one facing forward, and then there's one facing back. And what it does is it cancels out the sound that's facing forward. Like none of the sound is going forward, right? And it's just basically angling all the sound like directly towards you and behind you, right? But I've taken measurements of it, and you can kind of get the same effect just by turning your speaker. So try that. Okay. Okay. But yeah, if you're not in the center of the couch, that's a problem with the surrounds right next to you. Any movement side to side, it really pulls in that direction, right?
Yeah.
So the more diffuse you have it, it's just kind of like, I can hear it's changing, but not as extreme.
Look at Mike's like same left side of the couch MLP here as well. And to really piss the wife off, the couch isn't centered. That's hilarious, dude. He also said, try raising the surrounds up, pointing them down, especially for 5.1. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people used to do like a elevated rear surround sound stage or whatever. I never liked that idea, but it could work, especially if you have Atmos. It's probably not the best idea, but it could work in a 5.1.
Yeah, sometimes just you want it to be less distracting. Like you're sacrificing the accuracy of an Atmos placement for not annoying you. Right? That's the trade-off.
Send the wife to the lady cave.
Let's Goochman, how you doing? Joe, how about a name power strip with a 12-volt trigger, less likely to be a fire risk than the $10 one from you know where?
Gooch doesn't.
Well,
oh, I see.
I would have to say that pretty much everything comes from you know where. So, now I get you though. I've looked. The first thing I did was look for a power strip with a 12-volt trigger. And surprisingly, I think I found one and it was like, what was it? I think a couple hundred and something bucks. Hold on. Power strip 12-volt trigger. And it says, there's this weird one that looks real sketchy because like it doesn't have the typical 3.5 millimeter jack. It's like two wires that you have to plug in, and it's for like Arduino and Raspberry Pi. So I'm like, oh, this is for a hobbyist. It's not what people want. And then there's another one that looks like, I guess it's a Panamax. Is that one? Panamax, $106, and a Furman Elite, $237. For what I was trying to do, which is use some Class D amps for home theater. This is not. It's at that point. It's like just get power amps, right? cheap was part of the equation. I don't know that this even has 12-volt triggers. If you have any recommendations, Goochman, let me know. I'm trying to look here. Yeah, the one I see here is the Furman Elite, $237, and it has 12-volt trigger.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Gooch.
But yeah, that's a little. The other one, it does the job. It's just acting as a relay. I don't see what's the fire issue. You know what I mean? Come on. How many of you guys are using power strips that are like inexpensive?
What's inexpensive? 30, 40 or cheaper
I'm
than
saying,
that?
do you not use any power strips that are not like extreme quality?
I mean, maybe like a $20, $30 one here and there.
I've seen a video recently on YouTube where they just got a whatever power strip and they wanted to see like what would happen if you just dunked it in water and just sprayed it and stuff like that. It was fine. Anyway, at your own risk, you know.
That's right, at your own risk. What else we got? ELAC debut reference, ELAC reference for home theater and music. Debut reference or Unify? That's a tough one.
Unify reference. You know what? Their bookshelf didn't sound the same as the towers. I like the towers. Took decently well to EQ, and I like the concentric design. The bookshelf for some reason sounded like different to me. Well, of course they have less bass, but they just sounded tonally different. I definitely did not like the ELAC Unify 2.0 as much because it had some weird issue where like stuff wasn't tightened and made a weird sound at a certain frequency. It was a known issue. I'm sure they fixed it. Hopefully they fixed it by now. But I felt like the original Unify UB5 was like the magic speaker, right? Because it was inexpensive, had a ton of bass, and I think it took decently well to EQ as well with a concentric driver. So I'm partial to concentric if you're going to EQ it, but I do think that the debut reference might be a more neutral response out of the box. Like, so if you just go based on measurements, not going to do any EQ, the debut reference will probably measure better. If you're going to do EQ, I like what you can do with the concentric drivers. So hopefully that answers that.
Yes, Miguel, there is a video. I linked it already. So it's ATS acoustic. If you search ATS acoustics and Technodad, you'll find it. If you didn't see the link. When Rightwave Audio reviewed the 6800, that's the Denon, he was able to get the front right of both Dirac and Multi-Q-X nearly identical, but ultimately said Dirac still sounds way better. Why is that, and how to bridge the gap? I think I know what you're going to say, Joe.
Hold on. Both said Dirac sounds better. Why is that? Okay, you go ahead. What do you think?
Because I've heard you say this a bunch of times. Dirac does better with time alignment and phase alignment.
Yes.
Boom.
And using the same frequency response, yeah, that's not the best idea. Rightwave knows he has magic beans. He knows what it can do. He should just use magic beans on both. The new method that I was referring to with magic beans is that we do a 2-pass method now, where we set the EQ to flat in Dirac, and then we run magic beans. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to undo their correction to flat. Yeah. Anyway, Electron Ash, what do you say? Just don't trust. I don't. Okay.
Thanks. Just don't trust me too much. I don't have official qualifications.
This says the guy who's making his own AVR. Yeah, you seen those pictures, right? Like straight up making his own AVR from scratch. I think you know enough. You definitely know more than me, so that's good.
Did you see the new Mac Mini was announced today?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Did you get one?
No.
Why? I need a Plex server. Go and get one.
Yeah, I mean, the thing's tiny. It's like this big. It's like a.
Yeah.
You should check it out. You'd be very impressed with the here. I'll bring it up on screen.
Dude,
it's tiny, bro.
Oh, dude, this is like the same size as the old like Apple TVs. Oh, yeah. Shit, that looks great.
Yeah, yeah. Learn more. Well, we don't want to learn more. We just want to pre-order. Where's this pre-order thing?
Yeah, go get one. Use the student one, and then run a Plex server.
What do you call it? So they have. So look, it's featuring the M4.
Whoa.
And the top one is M4 Pro. The M4 Pro has. What's that?
That's how they get you, though.
Yeah.
Look at their price range. Stop for a second. Starts at $499 and goes up to $1299. Like it's pretty big. You know what I mean? They make you feel bad about getting the lowest one.
Yeah, with your 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 storage, you know.
I don't know.
You got to at least bump that up to like here and maybe here, and you're at like $900.
Yeah, dude. I bet you could spec that thing up to like 2 Gs if you wanted to.
I mean, not this one.
No, how about the highest end one? How much can you spec it up to?
Oh, Brian Tong did that. Oh, big shout out to Brian Tong. He just crossed 300,000 subscribers today. I was texting with him earlier.
Hey, nice.
I think it's like 8 Gs or something like that.
8 Gs? Oh my
6. Maybe it's like 6.
That's ridiculous, bro.
No. I'm totally wrong. Here, let's see.
He said 4. Fred says 4 Gs.
44269. I'm already on the education site, so it'll be probably like 500. Because he said, because when he did it, the highest storage was $2,400. That's another computer.
Yeah, they're ridiculous with their storage. I hate it.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean, like if you want a bunch of internal storage, that's just it makes you feel bad. It doesn't make you feel good about buying that thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, I like their stuff. Their storage and their RAM that you can't upgrade is ridiculous, but whatever.
Yeah, and this is all that new stuff. So everything is unified. So but anyway, it was announced. I think it starts shipping in a couple of weeks.
Cool. That's awesome.
Nice little
now set up a Plex server with now that these are out, go buy a M1 Mac Mini for like.
Well, that's exactly what Brian was saying. Like this is a good upgrade for people that have an Intel Mac Mini or an M1.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much true. I mean, it's just like TVs and projectors and shit. It's like you're not gonna get the very next one. You're gonna get the one that's like 3 to 5 years down the road. Right, depending on where you are.
I think we've reached a point right now with processors where, of course, you always want it to be faster and faster and faster and faster, right? But at a certain point, like I think around like the time when the M1 came out, it got to the point where like I don't notice any more difference beyond this. Like it's not getting much faster, right? Like I'm still using this M1 Max, right?
Yeah.
I can do everything I need to do.
Is that the Mac Mini or the laptop?
The laptop, a MacBook Pro, and even MKBHD when he had the, I think it was an M1, M2. He's like, I don't even feel the need to upgrade, and he's the tech reviewer guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, he probably can get one for free, and he's like, I don't even feel like I don't even want the hassle of moving this to the other computer. But yeah, I think it's one of those things like. We reached a point now that everything's pretty freaking fast. Like what's going to happen that's going to require us to upgrade? I don't know. Unless they figure out a way to make it slower.
Yeah. Last start comment question is SQ Car Audio. Hey guys, what car sound system do you guys rock? Are you finicky with sound quality in cars? I know Joe is.
You go first. You got a built-in system.
My built-in, so that car is gonna go bye-bye soon.
Oh,
I got to downgrade. So,
awesome.
What do you call it? That is a Bang & Olufsen 23 speaker 1900 watt setup in my Audi Q7. That car is gonna go bye-bye. And then I'm getting a car that's gonna have a JBL 11 speaker setup with a subwoofer or something. So
I'm sure a lot of the stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially JBL, they know what to do. So in my system, so I have a van and I have, what do I have?
Is it white?
No. How many speakers do I have in? I don't count the tweeters, like, they're separates, but I don't count them. But I have so left, center, right, and then 6x9s, and then the rear speakers, and then I have 4 subs, like just small subs, kind of placed all around, right? Like you can't see any subs, right? So that's what I have in there, and then I have all kinds of DSP. So I have like a, typical Android like thing, so it brings everything up to date. I can do CarPlay and Android Auto and all that stuff, right? It does all the cameras, have all the camera stuff set up. But I have it tuned pretty well. I'm using the old JBL MS8 just because it can do kind of like a 5.1 setup. Right? It does a Pro Logic type of thing, so it knows what to send the center channel. So I'm using something like that, and then I'm using a separate Dayton Audio 2x4 HD. No, that's not two. Oh, I forgot what the model number. DSP 408. It's called the DSP 408. It's four channels in, 8 out, and I'm using that to calibrate all the subs to each other, so it sounds good on all the seats. So and then I have how many amps? 1, 2, 3. I have like 3 2-channel amps. I don't know. I have a bunch of, and I have another set. I don't know. I think I have like 4 or 5 amps in there. Small amps. So everything has a dedicated amplifier. Anyway, I just do it because it's fun. I put the sound treatment on the doors so they don't rattle, stuff like that. And it's just for fun. It's just to calibrate and have fun with the system, but nothing crazy, like no crazy components. Like the speakers in the front are like VIFA or something like that. Nothing crazy. But it's just, I still get to have fun and mess around with it. Tana's heard it. It sounds decent, right?
You got a lot of bass, man.
Yeah.
I think Joe overdoes it with the bass. I don't know. Even in the theater, I'm like, it's loud.
That's how it's
loud. But can it play Diana Krall at 105 dB?
Yeah. I overdo it with the bass. That's a compliment. Thank you.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Big ass band.
Mark Levinson all the way.
Yeah, because he's got the Lexus.
Yeah, no, I was looking at either a Lexus or a Toyota, and I'm like, I should save the money and get the Toyota. The Lexus would have had the Mark Levinson, but spending an extra $30,000 on a car just for the sound system.
SP17s. Yeah. I don't know. I just like a good sound, and the best thing I can say is like when I listen to my music here at my desk or in the home theater or anywhere or in the car, tonally they sound about the same. The imaging is different in a car, but tonally they sound similar. That's good. What else? We didn't get into the what I wanted to talk about last time, using Dolby Vision and the VS10 engine. But that's what we'll do in the after show. I got to set up Fred. You got the HD Fury, and we're gonna force his projector to accept Dolby Vision, and we're gonna use the Zidu.
Force that DV. That sounds so bad.
We're gonna use the Zidu, which has the VS10 engine to convert everything from SDR, HDR, HDR plus, Dolby Vision, and we're gonna make it all Dolby Vision, but for his projector that doesn't support Dolby Vision. And so I'm trying it on my system. It looks awesome. And I'm excited. Oh, see? SQ Car Audio says VIFA rocks. So, they're inexpensive and, yeah. It's nothing crazy. Not like Aaron over here with his Morel everything. He balled out with his.
Travis says, "You guys are so brave going live with Dodgers on. Admire your enthusiasm."
Yeah, Angela's watching for me.
It's almost like it's just a thing, dude. Like the show is on Tuesdays.
What does this say? I tried using the air fryer for the first time. Doesn't really work. I have no idea how the YouTubers do fried chicken. What kind of air fryer do you have that doesn't work? Because all I know is like if I get some fried chicken, right? Normally after a day, you put it in the refrigerator, and then if you put it in the microwave, it's not going to be crunchy anymore. But if you throw it in the air fryer, it's as if like it just came straight out of the fryer. It's great. But I don't know. Maybe you have a not so good air fryer. I feel like you put fries in there, everything comes out as if you fried it. And somebody gave a tip that works, which was try putting hot dogs in the air fryer, right? And they do come out like especially good.
I would imagine they do.
Like something especially good about it. And bacon too. Bacon in the air fryer. If I die a little bit,
the air fryer.
if I die a little bit, if I take away like maybe a year from my life because I'm eating all this food from this air fryer, I'm gonna say I have no regrets. So,
no regrets.
No regrets. I'm ready to pop after show and help Fred out with his.
Yeah. Let's get this question out. I hope you're doing well, Joe and Shauna. Just order 2 PSA EV 1813Ms. If you don't know what that is, Joe, or anybody watching this, they got them on sale right now for $1649. Save $1,000. $1,000.
Yeah. Oh, wow. The Rels, man. I've not run across a Rel sub that I've been overly impressed with.
No.
Let's just say that. I'm not hating on Rel, but it just like keep seeing the measurement. I'll keep like wanting it to be awesome, and I'm like, oh.
And these are also 18s, right? Yeah. 18-inch woofer, yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
I think that's a good. Holy crap! Look at that. Damn, that's a lot of bass. Yeah. Is that this thing? Dual 21s. Look at that.
Yeah.
7 Gs. There you go. You
think that has too much bass?
I think this setup here has too much bass. If those are 421s, yeah, I think that's got way too much bass. Look at that shit.
But you don't have to crank it loud. You can keep it low.
Well, what's the point? What's the fucking point, dude?
Yeah. No, I calibrated a system recently with Rel, like the small ones, right? And the 10T, what was it? The model.
1003.
No, it was like T9X or something like that. Oh, what happened to Chana? His internet went out. Something like that. T9. Does that sound familiar? T9X?
T9X, yeah.
I think it was something like that. They're small, but I imagine I'm like, dude, these are like barely going to like 30. What is happening here? Like I could force them to get down lower, but they might break. I don't know. But it's just like that. Like when you see the measurements, like, that's not. I guess it's good if you have some speakers that don't get down below 60 hertz or something. And like you're getting at least bass down to 30, but for a sub, I want it to get down to 20. Otherwise, you're going to need a sub for your sub. You can get the Rels and then get a SVS or one of those, or a shoe sub or a monolith sub or RSL sub, and then you can get from 16 to 30.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rel, expensive lifestyle. You know what? I'm not hating on Rel because I truly believe that if you're a 2-channel guy that refuses to use any DSP, you can use some Rel subs and it'd probably make your system sound better.
Yeah,
100%. I'm all for that. But if you have any kind of modern system with DSP, forget it. Just go get something else. Don't get that. All right, let's get out of here. Let us get out of here.
Oh, last one, since it's Wendell. Wendell, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's up?
Trading my Emotiva Bass X5 channel amp for the OSD Nero HTA 5200. Good move or no? I think it's a good move. Joe, you had that one, right?
I have a bunch of the OSD amps, and I like them all.
They have XLR, right?
They have XLR, yeah.
That's the thing that the Bass X5 doesn't have. So that's a good move.
If you want to use XLR, if you're doing a longer run, or if you're getting noise in the system, maybe check to see if you're getting some noise in there, right? If you put your ear up against your speaker, if you're hearing like a high pitched whine or static, then see if XLR fixes that, because it did with mine.
There you go. There you go. And Daniel P chimes in. Thankfully, I purchased all the rails secondhand for half off or less each. They sold me on the musical claims, live and learn.
Yeah, I don't want to hate on them. It's faster, but it's faster because it doesn't have delay, because it doesn't have DSP. So they are telling the truth. They're just not telling the whole truth about why it's faster. All you need to do is delay your main speakers by a tiny bit, which every AVR can do, and now there's no faster, right?
Nope.
Anyway, what else? Electron Ash says the RSL Speed Woofer 10S is sounding pretty good right now. Yes. So that's actually what I recommended to this client that I did calibration for. I'm like, he wanted it to be white. I said, check out the Speed Woofer 10S. It's also not too big. Get 2 of those, and it's gonna be way different than those Rels. Yeah. Grossen says, but I want my sound now, not 30 milliseconds later.
Yeah,
it needs that instant sound. You want when they press play, it's got to be like no latency.
No latency. And without further latency, we will head on over to the it's a great segue. After show. Make sure, if you want to be into the after show, go to crew.dailyhifi.com and just type in, I want to be in the after show. That'll get you there. Or maybe it won't. And you want to get some merch, help out the channel, shop.dailyhifi.com. And of course, if you don't want to watch, I ate a little candy bar. That wasn't a candy bar, it was a fig bar. You want to listen to the podcast, go to anchor.fm/dailyhifi to listen to that. On behalf of myself and Mr. Joe and Tell and Mr. Aaron, who's dancing the night away with the stars. Hot dogs on Daniel P. What up, buddy? Thanks for the super chat.
Thank you, Daniel P, for the super chat. You're awesome. That made my night.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
We do this every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, even when the Dodgers are playing. So what? So make sure, if you're watching on the replay, to tune in to the live show and ask your questions. That's about it. We'll see you guys in the after show or next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.